Today, Canon is announcing the EOS C50. The C50 has a brand new full-frame 7K CMOS sensor. But this camera doesn't just have normal full frame, it also has open gate. Now this is huge, and there are two big possibilities that this feature opens up. We will touch on both of those a little bit later, but first, let's talk about the physical design. The C50 is a good amount smaller than the C70 and C80, and without that EVF on top, it's also a bit shorter than the R5C, which makes it very easy to balance and operate on compact gimbals. But you don't have to use this camera all the way stripped down. You could attach the included top handle, which has a lot of cool features. It includes two full-size XLRs, as well as all of the manual audio controls, a tally lamp, a extra record button that you can toggle with your thumb, and a zoom rocker, which is compatible with Canon's 24-105 2.8 when the power zoom adapter is attached. If you remove the top handle, you will have access to a multi-function shoe. The LCD is a 3-inch touchscreen. There are two card slots, one for CF Express Type B and one for V90 SD cards. And there's a DIN timecode terminal, similar to the R5C, but this one is in a better placement because I know that one was difficult for some people to access, and this feature should make syncing multiple cameras in post a breeze. And just like the C80 or C400, this camera also has built-in Wi-Fi. And despite having a compact body, it does still leave room for a full-size HDMI terminal. Now, continuing with the physical design, there are a lot of 1/4-20 mounts on this camera. They are on both the left and right side, so you can vertically shoot with the camera oriented in either direction. Or you could use those 1/4-20s for creative rigging, like we did here, attaching the camera to a C-stand arm for a very simple but effective top-down rig. There are also two 1/4-20s on the top of the camera, which the top handle uses to screw in securely. But if you do want to attach that top handle and use up those 1/4-20s, you also free up two more 1/4-20s on top of the top handle. The final 1/4-20 is on the bottom of the camera for a tripod plate and is accompanied by an anti-rotation pin socket. The C50 has active cooling with a fan that runs in video mode. There are variable speeds, and just like Canon's larger cinema cameras, the C50 should not have any problems with frequent overheating. Now the batteries. This camera takes LPE6P batteries, the same types of batteries you will see on all Canon's modern hybrid cameras. So the battery life, of course, won't be on par with the larger BPA style batteries that you will find in a C80 or C400, but this camera will have superior battery life to the R5C. So this camera has a dual base ISO. But unlike a lot of other cameras that have dual base ISOs of 800 and 12,800, the C50 has a base ISO of 800 and 6400. So instead of having a normal and high ISO, there's a normal and Goldilocks medium ISO, because Canon thinks that that will be more useful to more filmmakers most of the time. And of course, the camera shoots in C-Log2, which is the highest dynamic range profile for Canon cinema cameras. All of the test footage that you are watching right now was captured in C-Log2, and then converted to Rec. 709 with a Canon LUT. So now let's talk about OpenGate. One common use case for OpenGate is delivering in multiple aspect ratios. Because the 3x2 sensor is taller than your traditional 16:9 or 17:9 sensor, you have more wiggle room on the top of the frame for your social media edits. And in addition to framing up with guides for your social media post-production, you can also simultaneously record with a brand new feature called simultaneous crop recording. You can record two clips to two different cards, a horizontal clip to the CF Express card and a vertical clip to the SD card. This could be useful for extremely fast turnaround projects where you need to send a video clip directly to a phone and upload it to social media. But the big downside of this mode is that you are capturing in full frame 17:9. You are not using the 3x2 OpenGate mode in simultaneous crop recording, so you don't get that extra height that we talked about in OpenGate. So when time isn't of the essence and maximum flexibility is your priority, shooting in 3x2 OpenGate will definitely be the way to go. Now, in addition to social media cuts, the other huge use case for open gate recording is better utilizing anamorphic lenses. We shot this sequence with my set of Blazar Remus 1.5 anamorphic lenses. These lenses have a ton of character in the bokeh, fun flares, and barrel distortion. These lenses could be paired with pretty much any cinema camera, but if that camera does not have open gate, then you will end up with a very thin aspect ratio, which is undesirable to many, because you will either have to deliver in a very slim format or most likely scale up and crop off a lot of the sides. By shooting in 3x2 open gate on this camera, you end up with this aspect ratio. And this is a far more appealing aspect ratio and more versatile and higher resolution. It just all around is a better use of these lenses and similar lenses than putting them on other Canon cinema cameras. However, if you do own the C400, Canon is announcing a new firmware update that will bring 3x2 open gate to that camera as well. Now, the one notable compromise with 3x2 open gate is the fact that there is no slow motion. This camera tops out at 30 frames per second in 3x2 open gate. If you want to shoot in 60 frames per second, you will have to go to full frame 7K 17:9 mode. And if you want 120 frames per second, you can capture that in 4K. So far, I have solely discussed the cinema features because, this is a cinema camera after all, but just like the R5C, it does have a photo mode with photo menus and 32 megapixels. We personally did not shoot any photos on our test day. We focused on the cinema features, but if you were to shoot photos on this camera, it is extremely capable and can shoot over 40 frames per second in continuous high-speed shooting. In addition to announcing the C50, Canon today is also announcing the release of a new prime 85mm 1.4 RF lens. This is part of their VCM lineup. These lenses all have the exact same size, not just like filter thread size, but the exact same height, width, everything. All of these primes are completely uniform within the set. And just like the previous lenses, the 85 will have that fabulous declicked aperture ring, which is fantastic for us video shooters. Thank you, Adorama, for having me back on another first look video. If you want to pre-order your C50, you can do so with the link in the description at adorama.com.